Turkish Journal of Applied Social Work. I will read this journal on behalf of the QR code application using the disabled peoples all over the world. My name is Muhammad Farah Abdi from Somalia, doing my Doctor of Philosophy in Sakarya University. The article is titled as a study on the children in need of protection and their family. A case example. The article is prepared and produced by Professor Dr. Mehmet Zafir Danish, a Sakarya University Head of Social Work Department. Social worker Burcu Başak Kosofa. The abstract. Protecting the best interest of the child is of great importance in the organization of social benefits for the family. In order to achieve this goal, social work interventions should not merely provide social assistance to families, but also address the factors which lead to family dysfunctions and help families reach their full potential. In this article, the case of a father who has difficulties in caring his children for economic reasons and applies to the Provincial Directorate of Family and Social Policies. For social and economic benefits is presented. The planned change process designed in line with the ecological systems and empowerment approaches is explained in detail. The keywords in this article will cover like a child in need of protection or services, planned change process, social work intervention, and social work approaches. The introduction. In Turkey, a financial assistance program titled Social and Economic Support Services (SED) was designed for families who could not take care of their children due to social and or economic reasons. As a principle of the protection, development and encouragement of the child's best interest, SED program services which are delivered by the Provincial Directorate of Family and Social Policies target families which want to leave their children under 18 years old to state protection due to unemployment, disability, or poverty-related issues. These families' social environment, relations, and interactions are observed by the program staff through home visits, and the families are given financial assistance in order that they can sustain their functionality. With this program, the number of children who are left to nursery schools or orphanages has decreased, and these children have been supported for healthy psychological identity development in their own family environments. The aim of this article is to present a social work intervention implemented to support a father who applied to Sakarya Provincial Directorate of Family and Social Policies with his wife and his 3 children for giving their children to institutional care because of financial problems. Introduction of the case. ST is a man 32 years old and OT is his wife 27 years old, have 3 children. YT 9 is a male, ST 7 years old is a male, and MT 4 years is also a male. The mother of these children has disability at the rate of 68%. The father has been living with his wife and 3 children. He has not got a proper occupation. He has applied for their caring and protection due to the fact that his wife is not able to take on the responsibility of their children because of her disability. With the demand of client ST, this intervention has been implemented. The intervention process, social work profession carries out professional practice according to the needs and problems of the client groups, with the principle of every person is unique. In this case, a 7-staged plan change process has been followed. Number 1, engagement. Together with ST, social worker made a pre-meeting to assess the problem and determine which unit of the social work center referred to. As a result of this pre-meeting, official application was taken and a file about ST and his family was discussed. At this first encounter, it was learned that the father took his disabled wives and his 3 children's responsibility alone, and he felt himself inadequate and helpless to care them, so he wanted them to be taken under state protection for providing them better future. Social workers went to clients' home to assist psychosocial and environmental resources, determine the situation of the family, and make evaluation of the case. The information form of case from the first session was examined and the general profile of the client was obtained. ST and his family had been living in a 2-floor house with a garden. Social workers asked for permission to observe and meet the family members. The social worker explained to the client their aim, responsibilities, and duty in order to learn their problems, desires, and requests. Social worker listened to the client while observing his body language and interpersonal communication skills, and he took short notes without disturbing the client. Number 2, the assessment. The assessment part 1, client system. ST was born in 1982, Zakaria, and was married with 3 children. He had been working as a building worker to earn his living after he finished primary school. In recent years, he had not been in social and work life constantly due to his wife's increasing disability. ST had 4 siblings. His father had died 50 years ago, and his mother had been living with his brother. He had not close relation with his mother and siblings who had lived in the same city. His mother could not undertake her grandchildren's care and responsibility because of her health problems. In part 2, problems and requirements of client system. Because ST did not have a proper income and he could not look after his children, he had feelings like helplessness and burnout syndrome. Also, he had been feeling alone and deserted because he had not enough time for social life and his friend visits. ST's financial problems had increased after his children started to go to school. Therefore, inadequate social support to the client had negative effect. Negative effect his situation, and this had prevented him to deal with his problems. Although he had devoted himself to his family, he had needed professional support and guidance to discover his strengths. Part 3, strengths and weaknesses of the client. ST wanted to leave his children to the state care for their development and future because he thought that he could not look after and afford providing them good life conditions. The client stated that he had to leave them to the state and he wanted to visit his children when they were under protection and care of state. ST had positive relations with his children and he had mixed feelings about separating from them. Also, he was willing to collaborate with the social worker to improve the welfare of his family. 3. Planning. Part 1 of 3, working with the client system. After negotiating the evaluations, they agreed to collaborate to solve the problems and answer the needs, and they decided the targets of the intervention together. 2. Problems and needs of the client system. A. The client does not have a proper job and he has isolated himself from social life. He needs a proper and insured job and to be a socially beneficial person. B. The client does not have enough income to afford his family's expenses. Therefore, the family needs average support like food, education, health aids. C. The client does not have enough social support. He needs professional psychological support and guidance. D. The client does not have any relatives to help his wife's and his children's care. They need a full-time professional home care personnel. E. YT. One of the children has not good grades at school and the child has perception and connection problems and the child's mental development is not enough compared with child's peers. YT needs child psychiatrist examination. 3. Purposes. A. To find a proper job for ST via Turkish Employment Organization. B. To increase social and financial welfare level of the family. C. To provide professional psychological counseling service that focuses on family and children. D. To provide a home care personnel for the disabled wife and children. E. To refer YT to a child psychiatrist. 4. Implementation. Intervention. Problems were detected and targets and aims were decided with client ST. The client enrolled to Turkish Employment Organization system to get a suitable job for his age, experience, and other specialties. During this process, social and economic support system helped him to overcome financial deficiency. ST got an appointment from psychological treatment department. At the same time, counseling services decision was acted in the name of the children by juvenile court to provide ST the support he needed for his child's developmental issues and parenting. In order to find home care personnel for the disabled wife and children, local authority, municipality, charity, foundation, neighbors, and employment organization were connected, and finally full-time personnel were found. The client started to work in a month, and when he was at work, his wife and his children were looked after by home care personnel. 5. Evaluation. Plenty of goals were achieved, and client's problem-solving skills increased when the client reached necessary resources to supply his needs. He realized that his problems had been solved with a collaboration and sensibility. Hence, the social welfare of family increased after financial support, and the family could have access to health and education opportunities. 6. Terminating ST was benefited from social and financial support system for his children. He was found a job. The economic prosperity of the family was relatively increased. For the disabled mother, care support was provided. For the children, psychosocial supports were given. In order to observe the effectiveness of the social work intervention, it was decided to monitoring the situation of the family at certain time intervals. 7. Monitoring and follow-up. It has been agreed that the client ST and his children should be followed once every 3 months because of their physical, mental, and emotional situation. ST has been contacted via telephone or was met in person. His children's academic status has been regularly controlled through contacting their teachers. As of today, the father has a job. Monthly financial aid has been provided for the children's care. The children attended to school regularly, and home care personnel have provided his wife's and his children's care. After this professional intervention, it is expected that the family's social functionality will increase by developing their psychosocial, cultural, and financial life conditions. The parent-children relationships will get better as a result of the psychological support given to the family. The family's desire of living together will increase. The financial and emotional problems of family will disappear. The intervention will have terminated once these goals are observed to be permanently reached. Discussion. According to the empowerment approach, every person has power. This power can be developed, and both the person and the environment are full of resources. The other approach used in this intervention, the ecological systems approach, indicates that any problem at sub-elements of system will affect general functionality of system negatively, especially providing psychosocial support, child development, counseling, and financial support simultaneously. To the families having difficulties in caring their children due to economical deficiency has great importance in terms of protecting and developing child mental health and family structure. Empowerment is one of the most commonly used approaches in social work practices at economic and psychosocial deficiency situations. Empowerment approach is especially preferred by social workers working with client groups that face social inequality and social inclusion. The biggest advantage of the empowerment approach for the practitioners is that it's justice considering personal and social dimensions of cases simultaneously. The empowerment approach, which aims to help the individual realize his full potential and overcome his problems by using his own resources and coping strategies, is defined as an effort for building, developing, and increasing power via sharing and working together. In the present case, a fragmented family due to financial problems was saved by directing the father to employment services and to psychological treatment, by providing social and economic support, and through the counseling decision that enabled children to take part in social life and provided parents guidance and education. Therefore, interfamily motivation was empowered, and the family members found the desire to protect their union. In order to enable people to overcome their problems, the empowerment approach presents a view that supports person for solving his problems by activating his present potential and strengths instead of dealing with the individual's weaknesses and pathologies. Thus, the father was supported psychosocially and financially to activate his protective, caring functions for his family. The focus empowerment approach is support and reveals the potential goodness in every person. According to Shaheen 2005, page 44, the importance of empowerment in social work relies on thoughts that the positive quality capacity of human is necessary to appreciate. Personal and social resources can be developed, and this development can be lasted. In this direction, in our case study, this family has been appreciated for their effort to increase families' functionality after participating in professional meetings. This family has also realized that they can stand on their own feet if they protect that desire and motivation about change in the near future. Today, professionals like psychologists, pedagogists, or social workers adopt the person in environment perspective and evaluate clients within their ecological systems. These professionals take into consideration both the mental processes and external dynamics that affect clients' life. In this case study, professional intervention employed ecological systems and environment approach as the guiding frameworks. According to Ashman and Hull, 1999, page 14, in terms of ecological system approach, a person is in dynamic interaction with so many systems: family, friends, social services, policies, belief system, goods and services system, work life, and education life. The main assumption of this approach is that person can adapt himself easier to the environmental changes by developing interactions between his or her personality and his or her environment. Therefore, in this intervention, positive interfamilial interactions, husband-wife relations, parent-children relations, communication in whole family, and interaction patterns were supported. At all home visits, the positive contribution of all family members to help them get rate of problems has great importance, especially for family members and family structure and the relation processes and interactions between family members have been supported. Day by day, family structure, social institutions, and other systems functions have been changing, so the life has been more complicated for people. This situation has affected the adaptation of people to social environment negatively, and instability between personal desires and social resources has caused stress. People have to build a balance between desires and resources of environment and own opportunity and skills. According to ecological system personnel, social and family problems can be prevented and overcome functions deficiency among systems before they come through with balance between person and his environment. With this point of view presented by the ecological system approach, providing protection and care needs of children firstly, a connection between families' needs, desires, and expectations and social resources has been tried to build. For this purpose, the existing social assistance system has been activated, and the tendency of the family to leave their children for economic reasons has fallen from families' agenda due to the strengthening and the family care option through financial support of the family. In conclusion, in this article, a social work intervention with a father who wanted to leave his children to state protection because of social and financial problems and with the hope that they would have a better future was presented. The client's wife had disability, so she was not able to take care of the children either. In Turkey, social and economic support program was developed to return children under state protection to their families or to support families which could not afford their children. In this way, children who need protection or who are at risk of being needy stay with their parents while they are grown up. The families which benefit from social and economic support services are followed periodically, and after their cultural setting and environment are examined. These parents are either directed to other agencies and resources or are guided for the best interest of their children. These family-oriented programs and interventions have helped to reduce the number of children in need of protection, and the awareness of family about their children's care and development has been rising. Consequently, parents develop awareness about their strengths and participate in social life fully.